Welcome to a new short comic introduction. Today we have a look at Not a Villain by Aneeka Richins. The comic started in October 2010 and at the moment updates every Tuesday and Friday. The comic takes place in a post-apocalyptic world where hackers are one of the most hunted individuals because most of the people live, work and play in a virtual reality called L.i.F.e. The story follows Kleya, a reformed hacker who tries to live a normal life, or as normal as it's in this world possible. But she gets pulled into an addicting virtual reality game that will test her, let's say, behavior, because she dislikes losing. The story and the characters are very interesting, and it's a neat little read for people who like these kind of virtual reality stories. One thing I first had some problems with, but I thought the further story goes, that the interesting or the more interesting it got was the characters. At first glance I thought they are a little bit boring, but the more you get to know them, the more you see that every character that comes has some baggage behind them, and the same can be said for the world. We know it's or that the comic starts directly in the world. We at first we don't know what happened. We only get glimpses of it, but the further the story goes, the more we get behind what happened, why, or what the apocalypse may or may not have, or who may or may not have his hand in this apocalypse. And yes, it's very interestingly written, and for some people it might be a little bit boring to get only some glimpses, but let me tell you, it's getting interesting. And when it starts in the virtual reality live, but when the part with the game or the reality part comes into play, it's getting really interesting. That said, the comic also has a unique artistic twist in it, because at first the comic starts out in a very simple and let's say a very simple art style, and that changes later in some way. We have, like I said, we have 3 levels or 3 settings. One, live, the virtual reality where everyone works and lives. We have the game, and we have the reality. Live, where all the people are and all the computers have to work, is only kept in a simple art style with minimal shading. When we change to the game setting, it's getting really detailed with a cel shading look, with bright colors, and very, very, like I said, it's very detailed. And when we get to the reality part, it's a very complex art style with realistic shading, but very dark tone, more brown and black colors in this regard. So I haven't seen this kind of change between 3 different levels in one comic in this fashion. So that's also something very interesting, or let's say a very interesting art style for one storyline in this case. Yeah, it's definitive, or let's say it's I would recommend it, because it's getting interesting at the moment. We are now already in the game, and when or how these total different characters work or not work together, it's a very interesting read. So definitely try it out. Also, if you're interested, there are already 4 books published. This is volume 1, and like I said, volume 2 3, and 4. Every book is about 20 US dollars, and also if you want to support her, there's always the way comment if you, or just leave a nice message. She has a Patreon account, and also she's writing some novels. You can get us ebooks from her shop. Definitely try it out if you're interested in her writing style. So thanks for watching, and see you soon, and have fun.